And welcome to the IAC 2024 in Milan. We are very grateful to broadcast live here from the DLR booth to the world. And we know that the world is watching today. Over the next days, we will bring you some news, background information and real content and no gossip. Promise. Maybe a bit. I don't know. But the theme of this year's IAC is responsive space for sustainability, and that's something that's very close to our heart. I'm here with our editor-in-chief, Dr. Emma Gatti, that you all know, of course, and she is a real Milanese. How are you doing, Emma?
Hello, Torsten. Welcome, Space Watchers. It's a pleasure to be here in Milan. This is my hometown, so it's quite twice as exciting to be part of the ISC here in my city where I grew up. And it's exciting. For the next 5 days, we will try to drag you in and explain you what's going on, bring you the most interesting people, the main characters that they will animate the ISC, and we will also try to communicate to you the meaning of this huge conference and the most important things that are occurring in the next 5 days.
So we just watched the opening ceremony. Very cool scenario, very cool performance on stage. So, Emma, if you would like to summarize that, what would you like to say?
So it was quite pyrotechnic, that's correct. So as it should be, it's a very interesting show. The opening statement was, of course, by the president of the IAF, Clay Murray. He's a very well-known person in the space industry. So he highlighted what is the true core, the mission of the IAF and the significance of the ISC. This year the title is Responsible Space for Sustainability. So the stress is on responsibility and sustainability. Several of the sessions that we will see in the next 2 days are focused on debris, regulations, cooperation, geopolitical alliances, and climate change. There are some interesting sessions that we will try to report in the next few days also about food, water, drought. He also highlighted the importance of forging connection during this Diamond Jubilee, the 75th anniversary of the ISC conference. He highlighted how there will be some real lunar samples at the NASA stage and some recently brought from the far side of the moon Chinese samples available at the Chinese stand. Interesting enough, China is one of the sponsors together with India, for example. So we can see the attempt, the strong will to actually bring together the East and the West, the South with the North, and try to make space a truly integrated global community. We will see what will happen in the next 5 days. We're looking forward from the floor to understand how this new connection can be forged. And of course, one of the highlights and one of the main characters also of the next 5 days is the Artemis program, how it's progressing, how it's bringing the community together. And I think his message was the message of highlighting the diversity, the cooperation, and the integration of the space community all under the IAF hat somehow. So this is my takeaway from Clay discourse, from Clay opening speech. So we saw it was a 1 hour and a half of opening. Yep. How about you, Torsten? Which highlights you want to bring to the Space Watchers?
As you just talked about the Artemis Accords, we congratulate Estonia for becoming now the 45th signatory of Artemis, and you will read all about that, of course, tomorrow in SpaceWatch.Global. But what I was most impressed, I mean, all these conferences, all these opening ceremonies are shows. That's what it is about. They present the host country, the organization, our space for humanity, all of the themes that we talked before. But I was deeply impressed by one lady on stage, Dr. Wanda Diaz-Merced. She is a blind astronomer, and she worked with soundification of astronomic measurements. So a very interesting topic, and I know that we at SpaceWatch.Global, we had a podcast about soundification of images, of astronomic images, but more from the technical point of view, from an artist's point of view, and she gave us here an interesting view on how an astronomer, a blind astronomer, worked with that. That really, that touched me a lot. But also today, in this show, it was obviously a very important day for ASI, the Italian Space Agency. And Emma, what do you think about their intervention? So how was Italy presented at the stage?
So obviously the Italian Space Agency is playing a big role in today, in the next 5 days. So rightly so, they had the stage, they could introduce themselves, their vision. Teodoro Valente, which is the president of the Italian Space Agency, today took the stage and explained the vision of how ASI wants to position itself, which type of new alliances they want to forge. He mentioned Africa, Latin America, and South Asia several times. My prediction, my interpretation is that Italy is also starting a new international diplomatic plan, which is called the Piano Mattei, which link to Italian-African collaboration within the technological, scientific research and commercial endeavor. So my feeling from his message, it was a strong hand to the Piano Mattei and suggesting that we will see more and more Asia-African collaboration in the future, also from the space point of view. Obviously, it's an important milestone for ASI to host such an important, such a big conference. They are showing all the strength, rightly so. I think that's correct. We will see in the next few days, maybe we will try to pass through the booth and understanding what they're offering when it comes to technology. Yep. There will be an interesting update on IRIDE from tomorrow, Wednesday, so I will try to follow it, understand it, because IRIDE is an interesting, strongly Italian-involved program, and we will see how ASI will position itself, because this is not a final landing. I think this is just the beginning for them, especially considering the integration between agency and commercial space. So we will see what ASI will do in the next few days, and in the next few years, actually. And if you allow me just one comment before...
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing about you, but we are, just to tell you what the setup is here. So behind your camera, we have the aisles here, and people are walking by and waving to us. So if we make funny faces, so it's just to greet the people here, not ignoring you, not ignoring
That's okay.
you, Emma.
One interesting thing about what you mentioned is that today we listened the sound of anisotropy. So this is what happened during the presentation with when we spoke about sensorily biased people. That was a very interesting term that she used, and she made us listen the sound of anisotropy, the pulse of it at the end of each data, and she explained us how to listen to it. I found it quite poetic, quite interesting. And I think there was also some prizes, Torsten, that they were given.
Before we come to the prizes, yes. I had yesterday the opportunity to visit the press conference of the MMOP, the meeting of the members of the parliament. And that was the biggest gathering of parliamentarians before an IAC ever. That was interesting, very interesting to see. And the Italian Minister for Economy, Mr. Urso, he was at this press conference as well. And he talked about the plans for Africa, and especially for the Kenyan launchpad, and how a potential collaboration could look like. And one question came then from the colleagues from Reuters in the press conference about the time frame, and he said really in a few years that Italy will enable Kenya to launch micro launchers from Central Africa, what it is. And I think that was very remarkable. We all have to see what the reality will show, but at least ambitions, plans are great.
Absolutely. We'll keep eyes on it.
Awards.
Prizes.
Awards. Yes, awards. There is no opening ceremony without the IAF giving out awards. And there were three This time that was the World Space Award, and that went to ISRO. ISRO and the Chandrayaan-3 mission, and I mean, a mission that many of us in the sector obviously followed and were very grateful to be in this moment. So shout out to ISRO, great job and well-received award. There were 2 other awards called the IAF Excellence Award for International Collaboration, and those went to ASI. The first one to Gabriela Arrigo, if I pronounce her name well, and the second one to our good old friend, now with Redwire, Michael Gold, for his work with the Artemis Accords. So congratulations to all the people and organizations that received the awards. And so on, that was the opening ceremony that we just watched. But the day is just about to start here, at least at the show. The floor opened just an hour ago. So what's up today? Emma, what's on your agenda? And then I will tell you what's on my agenda and what you can see later on here on the stream.
Well, I think in the next few days I will try to report on those sessions focused on climate, on food, on water, those kind of interdisciplinary questions that bring space people talking with organizations, climate agencies, to try to understand effectively which type of progress we're seeing when it comes to technology for environmental and climate purposes. There's going to be also a very interesting session tomorrow about space-based solar panels.
Say it again.
No, once is enough. Thank you very much. And with some of guests that we have interviewed before, so certainly I will go to follow that. So I'm looking forward for this trend, and I suppose, Torsten, you will see more of the economic, geopolitical part.
I will watch later on the opening of the booth of Israel. Somewhere here it's a big challenge to orient yourself in this conference center here. And again, first day, so it might take a while to go there. We try to capture some clips there, and that's something you can mark your calendars for later today. At 4 o'clock, we will have a Space Cafe 33 minutes here live on stage at the DLR booth, and with the head of space at the DLR, with Anke Pagels-Kerb, or Dr. Anke Pagels-Kerb. And I will talk with her about the DLR space strategy, what the strategy is on Earth's observation of responsive space, on environmental, and so on and so forth. So, and going as deep as possible later on. I think that's it for today. The evenings here are full of receptions, IF receptions, and our special invitations. So I will go to the reception of New Zealand later on.
We will try.
As a beachhead advisor for New Zealand, I got invited, so that is great. One shootout I would like to do is to Yuri's night, and for all of those that are here in Milan, you might be interested to attend. It's a big partying that goes on the Thursday evening in the city of Milan. And so if you register there, if you want to register there, there's a special code, and it's called SpaceWatch Plus YN, like Yuri's night, and you get a 10% off if you're interested, or you just text us and we will send it to you later on. So we are media partner of this event, so we have all the rights to invite you to that. And with that, anything what we missed so far?
No, I think we're looking forward to report for you for the next 5 days. Stay tuned. Just keep watching us streaming every morning. We are sometimes at 10, sometimes at 11, sometimes at 12.
Now,
sorry,
now we have a plan. I mean, we're doing it from
always at 10. We will see you in the next 4 days. Yep. And if you have any particular questions or someone that you really would like to interview, some booth that you would like to see, just send us an email via LinkedIn and we will make sure to cover it for you. Thank you very much, and Space Watch out.
Space Watch out, but it's tomorrow at 11 and all the days at 11. So
11.
A detail. So we are very flexible here on the Italian side. Thanks. Space Watch out again. Bye.
Bye.